Hello children. Today we are going to start with a new chapter, inverse trigonometric function. See this table, it shows that how the questions it came in the previous years. So in 2015 you had a 4 mark question. Same it was repeated in 16 and 17. In 18 you had total 3 marks questions, 1 mark and 2 marks question. Again in 2019 there was a 4 mark question. And last year's your 2020 one mark question, and there was one short answer, that is 2 mark question. So anyhow it comes for 4 to 3 marks. Okay, and it is the easiest one. This chapter is the easiest one. Now in +1 you are studying what was the domain and range of the trigonometric functions. Hope you remember it all. See, what was the domain of sine? Sine was defined on, that is your real numbers, and the range was -1 to 1. We know that your sine always ranges between -1 to 1, where both are included. Okay? No other value. I cannot say that sine of x will be equal to 2. Okay, that value of sin x will be lying in close interval -1 to 1. Okay, similarly cosine, your domain is your r, that is the real number set, and the range is what? -1 to 1. Then for tan it was r minus, it was what? 2n plus 1, 2n plus 1 pi by 2. Why is it written it as odd multiple of pi by 2? Yes, do you remember that? What is tan pi by 2? Tan 90 is what? Yes, tan 90 we cannot define since it is sine by cos, and cos is not defined on 90 degree. Okay, and hence the domain of tangent to be defined, it should be what? R minus odd multiples of pi by 2. Okay, and the range of tangent is what? R itself. Similarly for cot, it is what? Cot is nothing but it is cos by sine. So sine is not defined on what? It is not defined on n. Sine n pi is what? Sine n pi is always 0. That means for n pi your sine is always 0. So I can say that cot won't be defined when your x is n pi, and hence your cot has the domain r minus n pi, where your n is an integer and the range is r itself. Okay, then sec and cosec. Sec is what? It is defined on r minus odd multiple of your pi by 2, because sec is nothing but what? Sec is nothing but your 1 by cos, and cos is not defined on your odd multiples of your pi by 2. Okay, and range is, it is r minus, it is open interval -1 to 1. Okay, sec is nothing but always it is 1 by cos. Okay, so always the range of sec, it will be r minus open interval -1 to 1. Similarly for cosec, your range is r minus n pi, right? And the range, domain is r minus n pi, and the range is r minus open interval -1 to 1. Okay, so you can just have a group sine and cos, they have their domain and the range same. Okay, tan and cot, they have the same range, tan and cot. Okay, and sec and cosec, they again have the same range. Okay, so you can remember by making the groups. Now in the previous chapter we have seen that your inverse of a function exists when the given function is 1 1 and onto. Okay, that means what? If the function is bijective, only then I can say your inverse exists, and that inverse is always a unique inverse. Okay, so inverse will exist from where? Y to x. In that case your y will be, now here if f is defined from x to y, yes, if it is a bijective function, that means my range is my y. Because if the function is onto, then we know that your range should be equal to codomain. So in order to define inverse, I have to define a function g which will be from the range set, that is my, here in this case it will be my codomain because it is onto. So y from x, okay, such that your g of y, it is equal to x, where x belongs to capital X, and y is equal to f of x, where y belongs to y. Okay, and your f inverse, it is denoted by your f superscript minus 1. Your f inverse is nothing but your g function itself. Okay, this is what we have done in the previous chapter. Now this is the graph of which trigonometric function? Yes, it is the graph of sin x. Now we are going to see whether can I define sine inverse. Okay, sine inverse is not your 1 by sine x. Okay, it is not. Always remember, otherwise always we write 1 by x is x raised to minus 1. That is not the case for trigonometric functions. Always remember, because some of, means it is seen that while proving, some of you make use of that such property. That property does not exist. Okay, so your sine inverse is not 1 by sine x. That always you have to remember. Now see here, this is the graph of sine x. Okay, now in sine x graph, in order to define your sine inverse, that means my sine inverse should be a bijective function. Only then I can define inverse. Yes? Now see here, can I define sine inverse for this whole graph? Now what is sine 0? Sine 0 is 0. What is sine pi? Sine pi is 0. Sine 2 pi? Sine 2 pi is also 0. That means 0, pi, 2 pi, they are mapping to what? 0 itself. Yes, so whether in this case will it be your 1 function? It won't, because what is 1 function? Two distinct elements should have distinct images in your codomain. So in this case, if I consider the whole graph, I can see that your sine x won't be what? 1 function when my domain is, what was the domain of sine function? My domain of sine function was R. So if my domain is R, sine x won't be 1 function. So in order to find inverse, what we do is we always restrict the sine function, or not only sine, we'll restrict all trigonometric functions. Okay, to make it to make that existence of inverse. So now I can make it as, I can make the parts as minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Now just check whether in minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, is it 1 1 and onto? Yes, because for every element I'll be having what? A unique and distinct images. If I take two distinct elements here in the domain, I'll be getting two distinct images. Okay? Similarly, it will be an onto, right? And hence, if I restrict the function to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, it will be what? It will be a bijective function. It is not the case that I have to restrict only to this part. I can restrict it to what? Pi by 2. I can restrict that one to what? pi by 2 to 3 pi by 2, or 3 pi by 2 to 5 pi by 2. Okay, this I can do. So there won't be a uniformity. So in order to have a uniformity, it is universally accepted that your sine function, it is restricted to what? It is restricted to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 in order to get my what? Inverse. So I can write your sine function here. If I am writing this as closed interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay. Your range will be what? Your range will be closed interval minus 1 to 1 itself. Okay. So in this case, can I say that your inverse exists? It will be a bijective function. Yes, it will be bijective function. Okay. So what will be my sine inverse from where to where? Sine inverse will be from, yes, sine inverse, it will be from where to where? Sine inverse, it will be from close interval minus 1 to 1 to, it will be minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Hope this is clear. In order to make my function as a bijective function, okay, I have to restrict the domain. Is that clear? So this is the explanation that sine is not 1 1 and all. So what we have done is we have restricted the domain to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Then in that case my range will be the same, minus 1 to 1. So your sine function is bijective only if the domain is what? Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. It is not the case only minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. You can have the other domains also. But we have to just think for close interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Now, we are saying what? Sine inverse exists. We had seen if f inverse exists, then f composite f inverse of x, that is same as f inverse of f inverse composite f, and that is equal to what? Identity function. What is f composite f inverse of x by definition? We write it as f of f inverse x. Yes. Similarly, what will be my property? Since sine is a bijective function, I'll be having what? Sine inverse composite sine of x. It will be same as sine composite sine inverse of x will be equal to x. Okay. So this I can write as sine inverse of sine x. Okay. And that it will be equal to sine of sine inverse x, and that is equal to x. Is that clear? So whenever you have sine inverse of sine x or sine of sine inverse x, I can straight away write it as what? It will be equal to x itself. Okay. Now see the domain of the sine, which I had explained before. For each domain, my range will be the same. But only the thing is, we are considering only this domain that is universally accepted. Okay. Now, so we had got the range of sine inverse is minus pi by 2 to close into that pi by 2 itself. So that range is also called as principal value branch. Okay, so principal value branch of sine inverse is what? Close interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So it may be asked for 1 mark, your MCQ. Okay, that principal value branch of sine inverse x is dash. So it will be what? Close interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay. Now see, if y is equal to sine inverse x, then how I can write? It is sine y equal to x. See, y is equal to sine inverse x. That means this sine I can take it to this side. Then it becomes sine y equal to x. Similarly, if I write it as y equal to cos inverse x, what can I get? It will be what? Cos y is equal to x. Is that clear? It is not 1 by cos. I have to take that cos to the other side. Clear? So, if I plot the graph, this we know, this is my graph for sine function. Now for sine inverse function, my domain was what? My domain was, yes, I have to just interchange. So my domain will be close interval -1 to 1, and range I will be getting as what? It will be between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, close interval. Okay, that means for sine function on x-axis I had the domain that was minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. For sine function my domain got interchanged. So on x-axis I have to consider for what? -1 to 1, and then just plot the values. Okay, what was your sine 0? It is 0 itself. Then see here, if I write sine 0 as 0, that means I can say what? Sine inverse of 0 is equal to 0. We had seen the previous. If y equal to sine x, then sine inverse of y equal to 0. Similarly, sine pi by 2, we know it is equal to 1. That means what can I write? Sine inverse of 1 should be equal to what? Pi by 2. Is this clear? Okay. Again, sine 45. Sine 45, that is sine pi by 4, is what? It is 1 by root 2. That means my sine inverse of 1 by root 2 will be what? It will be pi by 4. Clear? So that is using that I can plot the values, and you will get the sine inverse function as like this. Okay, that means this function is just what I have just made it as upside down. So you'll be getting, this will be the graph of sine inverse x. Okay, if you just see this graph in vertical, sine graph as vertical form, you will get your sine inverse function. Okay, now similarly for cos. Cos, what it is? For cos, see, this is the graph for the cos. Okay, so again we have to restrict the function what we had done for, similarly for your cos function, what we had done for your sine. Okay, now see, your cos 0 and cos 2 pi, it is equal to 1. That means again it is not 1 function. So for cos, your domain is restricted to what? It is restricted to 0 to pi, and the range will be -1 to 1, close interval -1 to 1. This is my cos. Okay, so if I take this as function, only then this function will be my bijective function, and then my cos inverse exists, and cos inverse of x will be from where to where? It will be from close interval -1 to 1 to close interval 0 to pi. Just interchange it. Okay, is that clear? So what was my range of my cos inverse x? Now range of cos inverse x will be 0 to pi. So range of cos inverse is called as principal value branch of cos inverse. What was principal value branch of sine inverse? It was close interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. For cos inverse, what is it? It is close interval 0 to pi. Clear? Similarly, if I draw the graph for cos inverse, I'll be getting just cos function, just tilt it to your vertical side. you'll be getting this graph as cos inverse x. Similarly for cosec, okay, so principal value branch of cosec inverse x is what it will be, minus pi by 2, close interval minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 minus 0. Okay, because it won't be defined over this. Understood? And this will be the graph of your cosec inverse and cos x. Similarly for sec inverse x, your principal value, it will be what? Close interval 0 pi minus pi by 2. Clear? And the graph will be like this. Same case for your tan inverse. Okay, tan inverse, for tan inverse, it will be your R2 minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So principal value branch of tan inverse, it is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. And this will be the graph of tan inverse x. Okay. Similarly, for cot inverse, principal value branch is open interval 0 to pi, and this will be a graph of cot inverse. Is that clear? So principal value of an inverse trigonometric function is what? The value of inverse trigonometric function which lies in the range of the principal branch is called its principal value. The value which lies in the range. Okay, so what was the range of sine inverse? Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So the values which lies in this range, they are called principal value of inverse trigonometric function. And this is the table for inverse trigonometric function and its principal value branch. That is nothing but what? That is a range of inverse trigonometric function. And this is the main important part of this chapter, because using this we have to solve the problems. We should know what is the range of given inverse trigonometric function. Okay, so hope in this video, this introduction part, it is clear to you. Thank you.